Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and happy Wednesday and happy March. It's 1st of March. Oh my, I'm not going to talk about the time, but yes, happy March, everybody. And hello, everyone. Hi, Kelly. Hey, Mariana. Hello, Tina. Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank everybody for being here with us today. It's another fun Wednesday. I think I declared it Fun Wednesday last week. So it is Fun Wednesday and it's March, and we'll be doing some fun lettering and also a little bit of drawing. Very simple, very easy. It's quick and fun. Perfect for your art journal, your sketchbook. These type of projects that we're doing, some of them are like super easy because sometimes we try to overwhelm ourselves with thinking and thinking and thinking. And if you're someone like myself, I like to keep an art journal. And sometimes those frustrating moments, we're like, what am I going to do next? So this is what we do here. We share inspiration and we learn and we just have fun. So before we get started, I'd like to say hello to everybody. Hi, Clarissa. Hello, Vera. Hi, Linda. Hello, everyone. If you are watching this on a replay on YouTube, next time we hope you can join us live because it's always fun having that engagement. You get to ask the question and I can also, answer some of your questions that you may have. And speaking of questions, if you may have some questions during the class, I will be looking at the chat, so I'll be able to answer that. So today's class, we are going to be working with the Albrecht Durer watercolor markers and also the watercolor pencils. All right. And because we are working with watercolor, that means we're going to need some water, some clean water in here. I have some round brushes in here. I think this is a number 2 and a number 4. I love round brushes. You can also use a water brush if you have anything in there. If you don't have the materials that I'm using today, and if you have something else like a watercolor pan, that's okay as well. All right. And so you may be wondering a little bit if they are both water soluble. Okay. So these are watercolor markers. Why do we need the brush pen and why can't I just use a watercolor pencil? It's because we are going to be doing a little bit of brush lettering in here. So if you were able to print your handout and if you have a graphite sheet, you can go ahead and trace that. But if you have one, my favorite trick is use my graphite pencil and then shade the back of my paper. And this really is super helpful, so I don't waste any graphite sheet. So I can just here shade the back of your handout. And then of course we are working with watercolor, water soluble supplies. We need some watercolor paper. If you don't have a watercolor paper, if you have a mixed media, anything that's heavy, you need that because of the moisture. If you're not using a watercolor paper or anything that takes water very well, you might not have the same result as how I'm going to use it. All right, I think I've covered it. All right, so this is my watercolor paper here. This is from Artist Loft from Michaels. This is the artist level number 2. So I'm gonna pick one. Oop, practicing my graphite in there. Peel one in here. All right. So you want to make sure that you put your lettering in the middle of your paper because we're going to be adding some fun rainbows on the side because, a little St. Patrick in here. So we're thinking of luck, but instead of just kind of any funny luck quotes, I just chose "so lucky to have you." So, you can use this for a St. Patrick or any cards, a printable, your wall art, or anything like that. I think you can do that. All right. Hi, Judith. Hello, everyone. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Ashley. All right. So I'm going to start and trace over my image. And so I'm just doing in the middle, just getting the perfect guide when we do our brush lettering in here. When it comes to brush lettering, I may not be able to cover a very thorough brush lettering class because, we're limited in time, but I will give you and explain to you the best way I can in a very short time when it comes to brush lettering. Brush lettering, a little bit of story time. Brush lettering was the very first skill I learned artistically when I saw, I think this was like 10 years ago when I first saw it on social media, and I just fell in love immediately. And so that's when I started practicing. And as you can see, with practice and with patience, you can do everything, right? If I did it, have done it, you can do it too. So I think it's good enough. Have that. I don't have to erase anything. You might not be able to see it because it's really, really light. So, but I have that perfect, and that's exactly what I need, just that perfect silhouette. So all of that is in the middle. Now, brush lettering is a type of hand lettering. Okay, so when you hear hand lettering, this is the art of drawing your letters. Handwriting is different, right? You're doing mostly script when you're not lifting your pen off your paper. There are a few tips that I'd like to talk about today, but we have some previous classes that we have done. You can watch that on Michael's YouTube channel. So if you want a more thorough class for hand lettering, we have that. But a few tips that I want to start with. Paper, the way your paper, I like to tilt my paper to the left when I'm doing any type of brush lettering. Second one is the way you handle your pen. Notice that my pen is angled and not straight up like this. If I'm going to do my handwriting with my pen or a pencil, I would write straight up like this. But every single time that I would do some type of brush lettering, I would always angle around 45-degree angled from the paper like this. And also the way I hold my pen, we all hold our pens, our markers very different. Some hold it like this, some hold it like this. I like to hold a bit close to the tip, but not too close where I don't have enough control. It's just a little too close in the middle. I like my marker to set and rest over here on my wrist because everything is on the wrist. I don't do like this. This is very important. So when I'm doing my brush lettering, my marker rests here. And this one, it has to be rest on my table or my desk as well. And the way I would hold it, and my control is on my wrist, right? So you can see this 3 is the one moving. I'm not moving my whole hand or my whole arm, right? So there are 2 things to remember when you're doing brush lettering. There are 2 strokes that you're going to hear, thin or your upstroke. Every single time you motion going up or away from your body, this is your upstroke, and this is where you're going to apply really light pressure. Now, when you do your second stroke, this is the downstroke, or every time you motion or you're right towards yourself, your body, this is where you're going to apply a bit of pressure in your marker. So when you do up, you're going to be really light, and you're going to do downstroke, apply some pressure to create your thicker line. Let's do that again. Up and then down pressure, right? So light going away or going up, heavy going down, right? Those are 2 things. Now the Albrecht Durer watercolor markers, you can use it as a marker like this, or you can use it as a watercolor. If you have an artist palette or even just cut some watercolor paper extra on the side, because you can pick up and transfer some of these pigments and then do some lettering also. But of course, the colors are not going to be as concentrated or as pigmented when you're using it directly. So you'll have a lighter value of this color. So you pick up some of that and then up, down. See, so much lighter. You can also blend your own colors. These are available in different pack of 5s, 10s at Michael's, and also individual colors as well. So you can mix these 2 colors to create your own and blend. And then going up is light, going down is heavy. Going up is light and going down is heavy, right? So the Albrecht Dürer pencils, These are also pure pigments, kind of like the markers, but in a pencil form. And again, you can use it directly as a colored pencil. You know, those pencil shades and marks, I love it. I love the textures. Or if you don't like that and you want more smoother coloring, then you can use water to blend it and use it as a watercolor. It's just so beautiful. Now, these are also available in sets, pack of 24, 36. There's also 60, and there's the full range of 120 over at Michael's as well. So you can use, if you don't have these pencils and you have the gold Faber Aqua, those work, but the major difference is that these are available 120 colors. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Miss Jen, do we have 40 colors of the gold Faber? I have that 48, I think.
Yes, correct.
Could be wrong. 48, yes, I got it. Okay. All right, so if we are ready, I think I have explained our tools today, round brushes and all that. I want to start with the lettering because this one's going to take a little bit. The rainbow is easy. All we got to do is blend and play with some colors. Now, I'd like to start with, if I am doing this without the handout, and if I'm composing my quote, I like to choose the words that I like to highlight or the ones that I like to appear to be bigger, where I want my audience to see first, where their eyes go first. So the words lucky and you are the two words that I've picked. And these are the ones that we're going to write in brush script or brush lettering. And then the word so, to, and have, we're going to write that in print. And so I want to start with the word lucky. Again, keeping in mind that we got to go light going up and heavier pressure going down while we do this lucky. All right. So this one's going down. Maybe I should zoom just a little bit so you guys can see real quick. Here we go. All right. Robin said it's snowing in Colorado. Right, so this one's going down, so a slightly, the reason why I like doing a sketching first, because I don't have to worry about composition. You know, if you make a mistake with one letter, you can't erase it anymore, right? Especially when you're still building that composition of where you want to place certain words. And so it's important to start with sketching first so you can finalize your idea and then complete it and ink it. And also with my sketch, I don't have to do one long stroke. I can go slow and steady to finish my design. If we do this with pencils, it might take a little bit because that means we're going to shade the sides that are going to be thicker. That's why I decided to use the markers in here, because they will give me this natural thick and thin lines using the brush tip. And these are also dual tips. So for example, you're just not really getting the hang of using a brush pen, but you still want to create the beautiful thin and thick strokes. You can always use the bullet tip and use the handout to see where are the areas where I have them much thicker than the others. So use the bullet tip and go around and just add an extra stroke and then shade them in. That way you can still create some beautiful thin and thick strokes using the bullet tip, right? I like to call that faux lettering. So I'm going to use, I did mention the color that I'm using. I'm using a May green. So down thick and using the tip of the pen and going really light to create that thick stroke. Applying pressure. And going up using the tip and going really light. Like that. And then we're going to create some gradient or some ombre effect. Like that. I'm just adding some extra thickness in there, making sure that it's all the same on the top and all that. All right. And then I am going to use the bullet tip to write the print, the word sew 2.5. That. If I'm going to use the brush pen in here, I will have a hard time and I will not have this clean mono line. So this is where having both ends comes so handy, and it's so pretty. All right, then we can start adding our embellishment later once we're done with the full gradient and all that. Now I'm going to use a heat gun just to speed up my process after we're done with the gradient. Okay, now I have two colors of green, three colors of green. I have the leaf green 112, and I have the dark phthalo 264. We're going to use this one to start adding some darker values, and we're going to create this beautiful gradient. And I'm going to use a round brush number 2 to start blending. Now these are pure pigments, so a little goes a long way. And I'm going to show you that that's really the case. So to create that beautiful gradient, I'm going to start adding this on top. I'm just going to cover a small area, right? And I'm going to use my number 2 round brush, dipping it in clean water. And then I'll start moving the pigments. Start blend. That, oh, look how beautiful. Oops. Sometimes I get excited and I apply too much pressure. You know, I always get asked the question, what is the key to a beautiful blending? My honest answer is patience. It takes time, really, to create these beautiful blends and gradients. Patience and a lot of it. I'll start moving this side as well. Like that. And I will stop where that thing connects. I'm going to start adding a little bit of darkness in here so that it looks like it's overlapping, right? And I don't want to make you dizzy by moving my paper too much. I'm just going to look awkward in here a little bit. Okay. Also, the round 2 brush, the reason why you might want to use a smaller brush, because if you have a much larger brush, it means it will hold more water. So it's easy to have some spills and puddles in there. So maybe the number 2 brush is perfect for this one. All right, and this is where we're just going to be patient and just keep adding and start our blends. Start adding it here. Look how little that is. That's all it takes. The water brush, absolutely, yes, you can use the water brush as long as some water brushes are not created equal. Some spill so much water, so just be mindful of that, be careful. Because it has continuous flow of water. Some are not overly controlled, so it spills water a whole lot more than some other brush pens. So just be mindful of how much water is coming out. And so if that's the case, make sure that you have a paper towel so that you can absorb some extra water in there. It's always handy to have some paper towel on the side. All right, just moving it. I mean, just the plain green was so pretty, but having this beautiful blends and gradients it adds so much character. Just like that. And notice how I'm really not dipping too much in the water, because it takes very little water to move these pigments. They're so concentrated, they're so vibrant and so beautiful. And also I'm not trying to cover up a large space, so we need very little water in here. Oh, I feel like I'm in a trance sometimes when I'm doing blending. I'm like, oh, I forgot you're there. Can I touch the wet brush directly to the nib of the pen to get the pigment? Absolutely, you can do that. You can also, where's that extra paper that we have? You can always just do this, get your water brush and start adding in some extra colors. You know, we feel like you can't get the control that you want. Maybe you're adding too much colors, you don't like it. You know, this is another way, most definitely. Whatever you're most comfortable. So you can always pick some more, just keep adding there. Or if you have an artist palette, any sleek surface really, or this watercolor paper. Because the watercolor paper will give you some time before it thoroughly absorbs all the pigment. If we're using a copy paper, I don't think that you're going to get the same result. So here, I think I personally like having it over where I apply it directly onto my page. The key is to have a really the difference from the dark and the light to really see that beautiful gradient. So from the transition from that dark and light in there. All right, with that, I'll add a little bit here. Notice how I'm using the bullet tip also when I'm applying the markers directly, because I don't have to worry about my pressure or ruining my tip because I'm not paying enough attention and just really dragging the nib in there. If I'm using the brush pen, I'm more careful because the brush tip is more prone to getting damaged. So I'm very careful with my brush tip as well. I feel like the bullet tip can take a little bit of beating more than the brush. That. Right, so this one's going to appear much lighter. Okay, and the loop will be the one that overlaps this first. Right, so I'm going to add some dark in here to really show that this one goes on top. You see that's too much water in there. This is a perfect example when you have too much water. And if you have the same problem, let it dry first, because you cannot keep adding any more pigments while it's still wet, because all it's going to do is it's going to keep blending and it's going to bleed through the rest of the paper, and it's just going to follow the movement of the water. So if you have too much water in there and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm keep adding more colors and it just keeps blending, and I'm just ended up with a pool of water. So let it dry first, move on to the next letter first, right? Hi, Amy. Hello there. Hello, NYC. Okay, I love these beautiful greens. I added colored pencil to a glitter pen in green. It looks very cool. Ooh, that sounds very, very cool. I actually pulled out some of my metallic colors as well from Pit Artist Pen. I have the gold. Just, I figured we might add some gold in here because it's St. Patrick. But if you don't have it, it's okay. I just saw it and I'm like, while I'm pulling out all the supplies, I'm like, I might want to use this. So if you have it, just in case you have it, you can follow along with what I'm going to do. Basically, instead of drop shadow, I'm thinking of adding the gold and using that as our drop shadow with our brush lettered words, the lucky and you. So, or if you have any gold markers in there, you might want to pull it out and we'll use it. Glitter pen also, if you have anything like that. It takes patience, doesn't it? Patience, doesn't it? So when you guys see all these beautiful letterings on social media, or beautiful, art, it takes a long time. It's like it's so short because it's like 60 minutes, but yeah, it takes a long time, but the result is worth it. So stay with me and let's do this. Plus, when I'm doing this, I'm like watching a show or, have something on TV. So I don't feel that the time is like, oh, this is taking forever. It's so pretty. All right, I'm gonna go move a little faster. I admit I am slow because I feel like I'm so in the moment when I'm working and teaching, and sometimes like time is running so fast that I don't have enough time. But I also want to make sure that I explain and show you the process so that you don't miss anything. But time is so limited. We have an hour and I work slow. We go. Also, if you're new to doing some brush lettering and you really want to get better at it, practice with the letters O is a good one, because that switching from the thick and the thin. So you can see going down is thick and then going up is thin. So you apply pressure and then go light. So letter O is a good one. Letter M is a really good one to practice also. And that's how I started. When I first started, I chose a word that I didn't mind repeating over and over, which is probably blessed and love. And I just wrote the words love and blessed over and over and over in my sketchbook, and I was proud of the basic strokes. Um, but that's how you're going to see the improvement. And make sure to keep an art journal, because when you have an art journal or just a notebook, really, um, is that when you're going to see your progress. It's so important to see your own progress instead of comparing your progress to somebody else's, because you don't know how long these other people have been practicing. And so if you sometimes when you compare your progress and you're not happy with what you see, it is very easy to get frustrated. But if you're comparing yourself to your own progress, like you started this month and then, check again in a couple of months and say, look at that, I can do my letter Z much better than how I did it 2 months ago. So those little things are super important. Okay, so I'm gonna use my heat tool, my heat gun in here, and just dry it to speed up my process so I don't make a mess. I'm usually very impatient, and so I end up kind of like smearing everything. So this time I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna dry it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be impatient and dry it with a heat tool. So be careful also when you're using a heat tool because it's really, really hot. If you have a blow dryer, it's the same thing. It can get really hot. And then also your paper can warp. And so I go on the back side as well to make sure that it doesn't warp like crazy. Here we are. There we go. Slow is good. Exactly. Thank you, Kelly. All right. So now we're going to add some 4-leaf clover, and I'm going to use the leaf green for this one. And I'm going to use the bullet tip because it's much easier to handle the bullet tip. I love having both. Now you can place them anywhere in the middle because we're going to add some rainbow on both at the bottom and also on the top left. So the bottom right and the top left is where I want to add my rainbow. Now you can always change it, being artistic here is always appreciated and also always recommended to use your own style. If you'd like to have an arch, if you have to have spirals, if you have little tiny rainbows all over, you can do that also. Now I want to start adding my 4-leaf clover, and I just draw the heart shape. And I start on the left side, so draw a heart, right? And I go round, another heart, then I'm going to add another heart and another. You can do that, and then you can start blending if you want, or you can just fill it in with the markers as well. And don't blend with water anymore, but I'd like to show you both so you can see 2 different results. Just like that. And then I'll go here on the top left. This one, I'm going to fill it in and not blend with water. So you can choose which one you like. I'm going to go here, just fill it in. And just add that. And you can use this and add it here. And I'll blend this so you can see. I'll bring it up. Wow, that is one bright. This one, it has like that watercolored look. This one is solid because we applied the markers directly into the page and not blend it with water. So you can see both. And I'll start adding here while this is still wet so I don't smear it. So heart, another heart, another heart, and then another heart. This one I'll blend. Just like that. You can also add like gold coins or gold heart all over the page. Fill that in. This one is like that. So pretty. All right, so I want to teach you about the drop shadow first. Now the drop shadow You have to choose one side only, all right? So if you want to choose the left side of each letter, stay with the left side. All letters should go on, all the strokes, the added strokes, the drop shadow should be on the left side of each letter. If you choose right, then all letters should be, all added drop shadow should be on the right. So don't do one left here and then here right. So just be consistent with that. All right, so I'm going to choose the left, meaning my light source is on my top right. So all my shadows will be over here on the left side of each letter. Now you can choose to have it so close to the letter, or you can just add just add an extra stroke. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be very careful because I tend to mess this up. I add my drop shadow sometimes when I'm not super careful. So left side of each letter, all right? Then I'll stop here. So this one, I'm gonna go on where? The left side also. So from the top, I'll go slow and stop there, right? Here on the left side as well. And so I stopped where this line stopped also. So I'm not gonna go past where this line is. All right, so this one, there's a little tiny side here. I'm gonna go there. This is the Gold 250 of the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen. This is a metallic. So it's perfect for the St. Patrick, right? So here, this is the left side of the U. So I'll go follow that. And again, notice how they're not meeting, right? I stopped before this stroke right here. So notice this one, I stopped before I touched this one. So we don't overlap things, and that's where it looks much better. So here I'll add one. I'm gonna follow this, just add this one also. And if you have to move your paper, please feel free to do that. I'm just trying not to make you dizzy. So over to the left, all the left, like that. There's a little bit here. Here. That. And I think I'm going to follow my own advice, and I'm going to add some gold hearts in here later. A little bit. I think I'm good. I like that. Mariana said she chose not to do the drop shot. That's okay. Absolutely perfect. All right, I'm gonna go add some hearts, and I'm gonna fill it in so it's like a solid heart, not just an outline. Add some in here so you can spread it all around. And then later, when I have my rainbow, I'm gonna put some heart on top of that also, or some stars actually. Maybe I'll add an extra. I think I'm good with the 3. All right. We have that. Now it's time to add our rainbow. So we have the words in the middle, and then I'm gonna add some rainbows in here. And I have the colors. Let's look at my colors. Sometimes I use pink just because I really love pink. And then when pink and orange anyways touch, it has this deeper orange color almost to red, but I'll use the red. So I have deep Scarlet Red 219, dark Cadmium Orange 115. We have Cadmium Yellow 107, Leaf Green 112, Ultramarine 120, the Purple Violet 136, and the Bluish Turquoise 149. So I start with the red. So go on my rainbow order. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. It's an option if you want to add the bluish turquoise. Okay. And this time I'm not going to do an arch. I think I'm going to do a little bit of spiral. So I'll start here on my right, whichever you're most comfortable. If you're more comfortable starting from the left going up or up going down. I feel like I'm more comfortable up going down. And I'm just not going to overthink this. I'm just going to add that. Our goal is to add some colors. And so we're not going to overthink it. And I'm just going to go back and forth and fill this in as much as I can, as fast as I can, as careful as I can as well. Although I really love the texture from the pencil also. You can choose not to blend it if you like. Put that on the side. Now I'll add my orange, and I'm just following this movement of my first stroke or line that I added. You're gonna see once the water touch the pigments, it's almost like magic. If you think that the colors are so vibrant now, for some crazy reason, the pigments get so much more vibrant when water touch it. Now, of course, if you want a more saturated and really vibrant colors, you can apply more in there. But I'm telling you, a little goes a long way. All right, this cadmium yellow is so beautiful. So just going back and forth, back and forth. Tina, isn't it so beautiful with the gold? It's just this perfect touch. I'll go over the green. Like that. Whoops. Also, while I'm doing this, would like to invite you. We have 3 more classes this month. Every Wednesday, same time at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. We have a premium class, one premium class, the 3rd Wednesday of the month. So we'd like to invite you to join us for other classes as well. The schedule will be on Michael's website. So make sure to check that out so you don't miss anything. Oops. Add the purple. It's so beautiful, even not blended. Because I feel like we all are so different, you know? Some would like that watercolor look. Some people really prefer to have a texture like the colored pencils or oil pastel. It's just different. We're just all different. And speaking of oil pastel, we're going to have a premium class next month, in April, working with some oil pastel also. So that's going to be fun. I'm finishing up the classes for April. Soon enough, that'll be available on Michael's website also. All right, so we're good here. Oh, it's so pretty. I have so little space on top. I don't know if I want to add a little bit more there. I think I'm going to stick with this one first. It's so pretty already. Okay, I'm going to get my water. I'm going to have it closer to me so I don't have to keep reaching out over there. So I'll start with the red first. I want to zoom this in so you guys can see. This is so beautiful. All right. It's always a joy to see these pigments react with water. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna add more. What? It's like magic. Din, din, din. And I'm gonna be a little careful before I touch the orange, but it's inevitable. They're going to touch. And plus the colors are going to blend beautiful. Anyway, the transition from that red till that darker blue is beautiful. I'll just try my hardest to do this. And blend the red first without blending it with the orange yet. I should probably use my number 4 brush in here because it's going to hold a little bit more water than this number 2, but it's okay. Look at that color. Ah, it's so beautiful. All right. Rainbows make me so happy. Oh my goodness. Do our orange. Again, I'll start from that top. I know, Mariana, it's so satisfying. It really is. Ah, look at this. There we go. And they're going to blend on top. It's so beautiful. Oops, make a mess. But it's watercolor, so when water touch that, so it's an easy cleanup. Oh my gosh. And it's so pretty. Yeah. Pretty colors. That's why I told you guys a little goes a long way. Like that. You see? Oh, it's so pretty. I'd like to know in the comments which one you like better. Did you like that pencil texture, or do you like it when it's blended with water? Because honestly, I cannot choose. I mean, I like it both. I like the magic when the water touched it, but I also really love the pencil texture also. So I can't choose. That blended. Okay. So we have a lot of blended. Yes, Celeste. I think that's the fun part of having it, being able to do both, you know? That's really is. The quality also, these are high quality tools. And do you need high quality tools to be great in art? No, you don't, but it's always so special when you invest in yourself and also at the same time you know what you love what you're doing. Sometimes there are tools that you get what you paid for. And the case with Faber-Castell, it is that it's that quality, your colors, these are high light fastness. We have a high light fastness rating. And you're going to see that in each pencil. You're going to see the rating in there. It means light fast means that your colors are going to stay super vibrant for many, many, many years to come. So, but of course, it's not recommended to display your art in direct sunlight, but even if it does, that's where light fastness comes in, because it means that your colors will remain this vibrant and beautiful for a very, very long time. So we have a lot of vote for blended. Yes, they love that. I mean, yes, this is what I love too. So when I'm like making videos for social media, and I like to do a close-up shot of these pencils and these markers when I'm doing the blending, because they're just so satisfying. Definitely makes it pop. That is sure. Oops, that is correct. I'm making my brush is like jumping off my hand. Look at this. Look how bright that is. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. And the blendability of these pencils are such, they're just an amazing quality. From the build to the quality of the pigments that you get from the Albrecht Durer watercolor pencils and the markers, it's just absolutely stunning. Now I am going to again be impatient and dry this before I make some mistake and mess, because this is super pretty. I want to frame this one, put it here in my studio. So lovely. And you're going to see where the pigments are running also. See, following the water, the direction of the water. That's where I applied a lot more water. And here you get a little bit more solid because I was being extra careful with the water. But I think you can play around with your tools, experiment with it, really spend some time getting to know it. Then you'll find different ways and techniques that you want to use your pencils and your markers. All right, I think it's dry enough. Now I want to add a little bit of gold in here also, bring my gold. Okay, and I don't know if I want to add heart or some star. I think I'm going to stick with the star. So I'll start with the cross. You guys see that? And go up from this, go up, and go down, and go down. And then I'm going to fill it in. And I'll do the same thing here. I think it's so beautiful. Like that. When you have like a little bit of embellishments all over your page, also really add some more virtual interest. Just a little bit more in here. So some dots, maybe I'll bring up the dots in here too, the circles. If you don't have the gold, you can always come back in with your green colors if you'd like, and then add some embellishments like that. Add some dots, irregular dots, smaller, play around with your shape and all that. But this is what we have, guys. If you created anything, if you were creating along with us today, would love to see that. You can use Make It with Michaels, of course, and show us some love and follow them on social media. There we go. And also Faber-Castell. You can use the hashtag Faber-Castell and also follow us on social media. And I'd love to stay in touch with all. So you can follow me also at Mommy Lay, all over social media. But this was so fun. I had so much fun. I hope that you guys had fun here. Darely is asking the marker again. Yeah, that is the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen in gold. So that's a 250. And we have other colors too of our metallic markers. So anyways, thank you so much. I was so lucky to have this class with you. That's a little cheesy, but you know, I'm going to stick with it. I had so much fun, everybody. Thank you all, and I hope to see you again next Wednesday, same time, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. Don't forget to sign up, and we'll see you for another fun class. Hello, good night, everybody. Bye.